it live back in the secret Center City studios.
I'm the capo. He's the press.
And this is Sons of Ben, the pod. Everyone, welcome back to yet another episode of Sons of Ben, the pod. Guess what this one is, Adam?
I have not been keeping track, so you got to let me know.
This is not a bad one for the numbers that we're in. Not
Yeah.
bad. This is Trey Thomas.
Okay, so we found the offensive lineman portion.
We are in the offensive line
Okay, cool.
portion, and we'll have to explain later on to our guest what the offensive line is, what
Yes.
they do. But and listen, we might have to explain that to a lot of people.
It's
on the
basically
podcast,
what
too.
Rain Rooney was for like 6 seasons.
Yeah, less balding.
I mean, a lot of balding.
Yeah.
Look at Lane Johnson now.
So, welcome back to the pod. This is episode number 72. Trey Thomas. All right, guys, this is pretty exciting stuff. We've been talking about bringing this guest on for a while, and then we found other excuses not to bring this guest on.
We always do.
Yeah, but so our guest hails from the shores of Manchester. I don't even know if there's shores there, but let's just pretend there is.
There's like a river.
Yeah, shores of Manchester. He is the only person in the front office that I know has a heart. Oh, wait. No, I'm sorry. Not a heart. A heart of gold. He's got the duty of bringing honor and glory back to the Philadelphia Union Foundation. Well, that's because Mark Evans pretty much ruined it by himself. But
Soiled
we'll talk
it.
about that. Oh, soiled it so
Soiled
badly.
it.
Yeah. But seriously, our guest brings a sense of honor and passion to a cause that means so much to the Sons of Ben and the Union faithful. He's here to tell you everything that they have planned for the city of Chester, the students at Chester High School. Ladies and gentlemen, the best export from the city of Manchester since Oasis. Mr. Paul Howard. Paul, thank you for coming
My
to the
goodness me. Well, when I challenge you for a better intro than Amanda Young Curtis, I think you've nailed it.
I don't know. I think hers still topped.
I love how that's now the bar. Like Amanda's intro, which was stunning. I wanted to say you brought that all the way back.
I didn't need pressure for this podcast, but now
No.
there's pressure for these intros. So it's,
I mean, you mentioned her like elementary school. You were like, from Lingelbach Elementary.
All right, let's get some housekeeping, then we can get into this. And the best thing is Devin is on mute, so this is like a holiday for the podcast. in
Devin is
general.
not on mute. Devin is directly in my ear, cursing you out as we speak.
But I
don't know
can't-
what to
but
tell
I
you.
can't
You
hear
can't
him.
hear him though. But he can
Like I
hear
said,
you.
if this is what senility is going to be like, bring it on. This is why my dad's happy
This is
because he can't hear what people when they're bitching at him.
we are going to give you the biggest earplug, ear enhancement. You know, we're just going to be like put them right in the sockets.
All right, housekeeping. Beer the pod. Yards and 2SP. We got some 2SP going on. Ooh, I snuck a yards in the cooler too, but
I saw you with that.
yeah. So support those that support us. But yeah, we've got some Delco Lager. We got the Bogey. As Mayor from Easttown would say, the Bogey.
By the way, the real mayor of Easttown actually plays at St. Joseph's. I don't know if you caught that.
I caught that in the Inquirer. Well, wasn't Tannenwald doing that?
No, JT's too busy covering the Olympics.
Yeah, no. JT, get to it, man. Nose to the grindstone. All right, Sons of Ben news. Renew. I keep linking this. I'm telling you, you want to be a member before the end of August. That's all I'm going to say. If you're not, I don't give a shit. If you're my mom and you're not a member, you're not getting into this event. Sorry, just letting you know.
She already doesn't want to come.
No, well, she might for this. She doesn't want to see me.
Normally, no.
Or my
She's
dad,
like, wait,
but
hold
she
on.
might want to be on this. We've got some trips. You got Miami and Orlando coming up, so it might not be too late. And then we got the big one where it's not too late. We got over, I think it's 60 people right now for Mexico City.
Oh my god. Do we have 60 bodyguards?
No, we've got one Sid.
Sid-
Sacrificial fan Sid will be in attendance. So when they come to kidnap us,
Yeah.
push Sid in the
You
van,
trip Sid first. Yeah.
run away.
Yeah.
We're gonna be good.
They'll give him back. They'll be like, nope, too much.
Yeah.
We'll pay you to take him off our
Yeah,
hands, please.
we'll teach kidnappers a lesson. This is we're going to be talking about charity and giving back. So getting Sid kidnapped to the cartels and getting him back is the first step in charity.
They'll learn that Philadelphia is the least kidnappable city on the
Yeah,
planet.
without a doubt. Yeah, they don't have enough tobacco down there.
Nope.
All right. So speaking of, but it's not tobacco. It's Rally House. Rally House.
That was
We've got
that was a pretty bad transition, but we'll let it
the,
slide.
yeah. So we got some new merch from Rally House. You can get it
Yeah.
at the stores online or floating around once in a while on the black market in the lot because John Light's got like one or two shirts that he'll sell to you for a
First off, it's the
Secret price.
African American market. Let's make that straight. And second, and what's really important, shout out to both Molly and Jess who were holding down the tent to start the game last night, or a couple of nights before, and then got promptly rained on for
Oh
subsequent
my
the rest of the
god!
game.
Yeah, we did some Shield merch, and we'll get into that. But look out! There's way more merch. There's flags are coming, and like I said, we've got one of the coolest collabs we've ever done, and we think we'll have it ready late August. I'm really excited. Speaking of excited, World Cup 2026, www.philadelphia2026.com. We are bringing the World Cup to Philadelphia by hook or by crook, or by big bag of money from Comcast to FIFA.
I
one way or
swear to
the other,
God, if they
where-
give this to Cincinnati over us, I'm fighting words. What
dude,
are
if
we
they
doing here?
if they give it to DC over us, we are definitely going to fight Barra Brava.
No one's going to go to FedEx Field to do literally anything. Like that would be like honestly the irony that the nation's capital is probably one of the least hospitable places to hold a World Cup is just palpable.
They,
All right.
they gave it to Qatar.
Yeah,
You know what you have to do, Philadelphia.
Yep.
Involves slave labor. All right, cool. We're on it.
All right, Devin, this is your segment, and I'm going to count down in my head 10 seconds. Go. Discord.
Discord's been fantastic. I have not updated the predictions this week, so I do not know.
I can't count that well. So Discord was great, huh? That's awesome.
I was doing the American
This is going to be
side
so
of it.
confusing to the people that don't know that they
Yeah.
can't hear me. Because in an audio medium, this is not going to.
This ain't gonna affect them in any way. They have no idea the complications we're going through right now with this podcast. But I like the idea that like some person's going to like completely skim over the 30-second portion we're doing right now and have no idea that no one can hear you for the rest of this. This is great.
Good.
It's awesome. This is the best pod ever. I swear to God. This is like the gift.
This is
All right.
this is some gas and no brakes pod.
All right.
Tell Matt
So-
I want to plug the tailgate
Is he
too
still
at some
yapping
point.
about the
He
Discord?
wants to plug the tailgate, which was
There's a tailgate section when we talk about the games.
Oh, you know what?
You
See,
do not
here's the
read the
problem. I
notes?
didn't even.
There's a
didn't even
format to
open the
read
this.
the notes this
I didn't
week.
even
I
open
didn't
the
send them
notes.
to him.
Yes, it is not just you wrote that for literally
I did-
nobody. That was just for your own health.
I didn't send the notes because I know you two clowns don't read them. And B,
He does occasionally.
It's
I
always-
fully don't.
it's always the same format. We talk
Yeah.
about the tailgates when we get into the game. So
Yeah.
come
Yeah.
on, Devin.
I'm honestly
72. Trey Thomas is disappointed in you.
So wait, actually,
Yeah.
real quick, not to digress, but when do we find out if we get the World Cup? Because I just want to know how many more of these adverts you got going left in you.
We will find out in Q3 after FIFA makes a visit.
Oh, okay. So then, like 2077 is when you're gonna be.
pretty
Okay, cool.
much.
Yeah.
Probably
Excited.
late fall, early winter. We will know if we got it or not.
Are we getting FanFest back too? NBC, where are you guys? Bring it back.
That
I know the answer to that.
Oh well.
yeah. Wait a second. Breaking news.
Am I jumping guns?
Well,
Is
jump-
that-
let's just go to the. We'll
was
go to
that
that.
in the notes
and then,
because I did not
No,
read them.
no.
Okay, cool,
Go ahead.
cool. What's up? What are we
I heard
doing?
it's coming back, and I heard Philly's first stop.
Well, I mean, first off, it's about damn time, LeBron James voice. But no, I mean, look, we are the hub of NBC Universal. Take that,
Yeah.
30 Rock, so you might as well.
Well, the funny thing is, we found out through the World Cup bid.
Yeah.
Comcast NBC Sports
Yeah.
did a polling of North American cities, and Philadelphia was the #1 rated for television viewing
Yeah.
of the EPL.
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
weirdly not shocked by that.
No,
Weirdly
so
not shocked by
What
that.
pisses me off is then why aren't all those people down in Chester? But we'll get to that later.
I mean, you as a former Euro snob yourself, you should understand.
I understand, but that
Look-
was many years ago, and
Shit.
it's been a whole different.
Way too many Crystal Palace fans in Philadelphia. Did you know
Oh,
that?
yeah.
Well, our basketball team owner owns the club, so
Just
you know
so
that's some
s-
synergy right
so
there.
strange. English guys, though. English guys.
Look,
They're all
If
seem to
you
be
lived
from
in
Croydon.
South London, you would move to South Philly in a heartbeat too.
it's a lateral move at
Yeah.
best, is what they're talking
Yeah.
about. But no, I'm here. I appreciate like all of the smaller clubs, the middle of the table clubs. Like I saw someone wearing a Wolves shirt the other day. I was like, all right, that guy's got some class. I don't even know him. Got a little class, or he's he's Portuguese. One of the two.
All right, now speaking of non-Portuguese but with class, our guests. Let's get to this. So
Ooh,
I've got
yes.
some questions. All right, so the first question, Paul,
Okay.
Manchester to Chester. Did your GPS break?
Actually, Chester, I grew up near Chester. It's a lovely Roman medieval town.
I
It's
love
got-
I love the counters to in the other countries. Like
I
here's
think we were talking about
actual
Chester,
York.
Pennsylvania.
It's
Yeah,
a,
so-
it's a lovely Roman town originally. It's still got the medieval walls. Beautiful part of the world.
So you're talking about the power plant that you work in? Because that's not medieval. That's like maybe 18th century architecture.
I
I'm
was
not
in.
sure.
I came to the States not too long ago. 4 years I've been here. Couple of years in Manhattan. My wife's from Bucks County,
Bucks County.
so the plan was always try to get down here. And then when somebody said move to Delco,
How do you say no?
how do you say no?
How do you argue with the Delco prop?
Well, you can't. And then they gave me my hoagie, and I went home.
Look at this. Look at it.
Lost his
looks
accent
natural
already.
now.
And I drank some water.
Look at he's going
Look
the
at
full nine.
that, man. And the wife's leaving him because Bucks County doesn't want to do Delco.
No, like
That's
Bucks
like-
County is like we're farm people.
Yeah,
you leave us in New Hope alone.
That had to be the hardest decision. We're gonna leave Manhattan, not go to Bucks County, but go to Delco.
Media is
Yeah.
the most lovely part of the world.
It
You can't
is
get more
America's hometown.
Americana.
It's America's hometown is media.
I thought Wayne, Pennsylvania was.
No, that's America's greatest hometown. There's a
Oh.
difference between those two sentences.
Okay.
you know.
Gotcha. Devin, you didn't drink. Yeah, we can still see you. We can't hear you, but play the drinking game.
You kids are playing at home, right?
So before the union, you mentioned Manhattan. So what were you doing before the union? I mean, was this just like you were busking in the streets, or
I was playing New York City bingo. I was 20 years in education before I moved to the States. That's why I've got a heart
okay.
of gold, you see.
Wow.
I'm not driven by the green dollar.
Well, if
just
we
the
could
smiles
all-
on the faces. That's
if we
what
could
he's
all
here
marry
for.
rich women from Bucks County, we wouldn't have to
I
worry
gotta
about.
tell
you
you,
know?
she is minted. That's what I was doing, and then I was happy there, just happy. I had my job, I had my pension, I had my socialized
I had
healthcare.
tenure.
I had not care in the world. I had social security that would take care of me if I
His EPL team
fell.
was finally doing well.
My team's doing well. I put in 20 years of hard work through the 80s and the 90s, and then it was all coming back to me. A season ticket. I was there for the Aguero goal. I was there for the. Oh my! And I walked away from all that because I fell in love with a little blonde American from Bucks County.
I feel like that's
It's our
a
greatest
very-
export.
Yeah, I feel like that's a very common story. We've been selling like wives to many people from foreign nations for long periods of time out of here. That's how we got Grace Kelly. What do you mean?
Danny Higginbottom,
Danny Higginbottom. That's how for half a second.
Sebastian Latou, not once but twice.
Exactly. These gentlemen come over and they're just like, you know what? All of these lovely.
Brendan Aronson is still tied to a New Jersey girl. Like he
He
can't.
can't give it up.
Yeah, he went to
give it up.
Austria and
No.
to the Sound of Music, and he can't get
See,
away.
this
So
is
yeah,
it.
there's
This
it's
is
our
it,
greatest.
America.
It's our secret weapon.
America, you give up your nuclear weapons. You don't need those nuclear weapons. Use the soft power of American women from Bucks County around the world, and you will get the world doing what you want.
We could harness the energy of that and power the globe.
And you don't believe me. I was going to ask him what his best moment with the team has been, but we already know. So
Yeah, we're
gonna
done.
skip
Yeah,
that
it's fine.
question.
Yeah,
We're
right.
like, all right, yeah, he
When-
got married. Yeah,
Cut out the middleman there.
Just
We're
like,
good.
whoop,
Yeah,
yep, get rid of that.
Check.
Unbelievable. I was ready to mark my computer screen. Like
I saw that. I was hoping
I
you
know.
would. I was just
Oh.
like, so now permanent marker on the screen there, right?
I know, but yeah. So, all right. So let's get into just a little bit of the foundation. Now, Adam, I'm gonna bring this to you.
Yes.
Do you remember? And you probably don't, because it wasn't called this when we were there.
No.
But the Dupe Cup.
I do remember the Dupe Cup.
I don't think it was called the Dupe Cup then.
No, it was the
It was
River
called-
Cup.
I think it was just called Snooty golf outing that we went to that we didn't belong at.
Look, I brought so much hips to that outing. They have never experienced that level of gyration.
You guys made that particular hole, which is now branded the Snake Pit,
You're welcome.
into something which the players want to come back for over and over again.
I'm a winner. When's the next one? Do
So
y'all
we
need
we,
me
we
again?
are announcing that now. So
Yes.
August the 31st. So this is an experience where you get to. This is your pregame to your Labor Day weekend.
Yes.
Right.
So take the day off. We are going to announce that the Sons of Ben are going to sell exclusive tickets to be part of the Snake Pit. We're going to literally make this like the Waste Management Open in Phoenix,
Oh my god.
That is exactly
where
TTP Sawgrass.
for a very nominal fee, the foundation will feed you
Yes.
and booze you up at the
Yes.
former Ace Club. Devin, the Ace Club is somewhere where you, me, and Adam are never invited. But for this one time,
I'm sorry, sir.
we're-
Speak for yourself. I used to have brunch once a year, every year at the Ace Club. This is Bougie Wayne you're talking about here.
was that like a give kids the a Make-A-Wish thing?
No,
or
it was
like-
a. So here's a really fun game. It was an an all African American youth group of weirdly affluent children. Yeah,
That's what
that's
the,
a real sentence I
That's
said.
what the Ace Club
that was
stands
a
for.
real sentence I just said.
So the Ace Club, which is a gorgeous resort that's now called the Liberty, the Liberty, correct?
Union League Liberty Hill.
Union League
Okay.
Liberty Hill.
That needs an abbreviation. Of some
So
sort.
for the members out there, we are going to have an exclusive number, and it's going to be a nominal rate ticketed, where you can go and literally boo and heckle rich people trying to play golf for the foundation.
Right, it's a very simple equation. We need your help. We need you guys to come down there, recreate the river end behind this particular tee box. We'll incentivize you. We'll get you drunk. We'll feed you, and we will incentivize you to put those golfers off. For every shank tee shot or at the Snake Pit, we will make a donation to the Sons of Ben.
So can we just get Sergio Santos in the box the whole time? I just need if we can have
The-
him just
the-
swinging away.
The
I mean-
Sergio Santos golf swing is a thing of
It's,
not beauty, but something you must see.
it's Charles Barkley-ian.
Oh.
Is what that like the first time I saw it in all of its glory, I was just like, this man has never picked up a golf club previous to this day.
So
This is his first.
2 years ago, a few of us went there because we were going to experiment with this thing, and we had a blast. We had drums, we had smoke bombs, and we had some of the players. And you can tell there's people like Jack Elliott that can strike the ball.
I mean, I'm hoping.
There's people like Sergio Santos that, well, he looked good on the golf course.
I mean, the outfit was on point. I can give you that.
This is a once in a lifetime experience that when we always tell you we like try to bring you behind the curtain on the pod. This is one of those things where you literally will be behind the curtain where you get to see Chris Albright in all his boy band hair hit a golf ball.
It's so good though.
You get to make fun of some very well-known attorneys that might bail you out later that night. But those guys will be playing. It is a cross section of Union fandom that you don't want to miss. So we are announcing it here, and we are going to put it on the Ticket Leap probably next week and just start promoting it to let you know that we're going to be there. Now, Adam, I
Yes.
want to put our guest on the spot because
Please.
the 2 years ago when we were there, they had I don't even know who. He was an intern. He was doing the announcements of people, and then
He was cute.
because of,
You
because of
talking about Carl-
COVID.
You talking about Carl Churkin?
No, it wasn't Carl.
No, it
wasn't
was not Carl.
No, it wasn't
Carl
Carl.
Churkin emceed that hole.
No,
Did he-
no, he kind of fell asleep. So, and then
Like there was
last year,
emceeing in that hole, and then there was just me doing chants
Yeah,
and hitting a
and
drum.
then
That guy
last-
is a living legend.
and
by
then
the way.
last
yeah.
year they had Mark Evans, who's a living legend in his own mind, MC the whole because of COVID, and I guess he's the only one that wore a mask or something. I don't know.
TB12.
Yeah.
TB12 makes you stronger
Yeah.
than COVID.
So,
let's be
so
real.
I think Devin, and you can nod so Paul can. Don't you think Sons of Ben the Pod should be the official MC of that hole? I mean, we should get the mic.
A
and then
live
we
pod, you
we
say?
Would, we
Give
would
Adam
be
and Matt
like
the
the
mic.
living,
yes.
the old guys at the Muppets, just criticizing people and getting the crowd ready to go. I mean, that's
I'd like
that's
to make a
proposal.
live announcement that Waldorf and Statler here
Yes.
are going to be the official DJ/MC for the Snake Pit on
Don't
August
throw-
31st.
Don't threaten me with a good time, sir.
My boss just found out I'm putting in for PTO on the
Yeah,
31st.
yeah, that's how everyone basically found out. You know where I will be on the 31st, making my debut.
If you guys can come down here, the Sons of Ben, you'll help us create the energy. You'll make it an experience to remember for the golfers. They'll come back next year. We can sell more foursomes and do more good in Chester. It's a very simple equation, actually.
Yeah, we're bribing you with food and beer.
It's the loudest
Well,
Ridge
who is that?
Avenue is ever going to sound.
And then we'll make sure Jim Curtin comes by and like
Jim
says
Curtin's
hi.
going to be there.
Yeah. Well, we're friends with his parents now.
I
Oh,
need to
wow,
see the
wow.
golf shoes, though. That's very
Oh
important.
yeah, what would he get?
What is this? I'm expecting Jordan 11s, like some like Concords, but golf shoes.
Wouldn't he get like Tiger Woods golf shoes? Though?
No,
because
no,
it's
he-
Nike.
he-
Like
No, but you see, the new move now is what I've learned in sports is if you can make Jordans into your cleats, That's the
Oh.
move. So, like, baseball players have been doing it, football players have been doing it. You know, you can make your Jordans, but into cleats.
We're just gonna say Jim is gonna give away a pair of these at the outing. I'm
Oh
just
my God.
saying. We'll just say,
I will do all of the
Yeah.
bidding on it because I assume he's my size.
I think
Yeah.
what we'll do is we'll get some of those new Kevin Durant kind of
Yeah.
boots that are out at the minute, and we'll
Duh.
just
I got 3 pairs in the house already. I can add a 4th.
So, all right. So that's the big news. The Dupe Cup SOB at
news.
Liberty Hill. It's gonna be a good time. And I know that we keep talking about the Shield merch that we do because proceeds from the in stadium sales goes to the foundation and that goes to Chester Soccer. But I just want to let you have just Paul tell us about August 21st. Everything you guys are doing because we're going to try to launch some new merch there to sell, but then that is the foundation night for Chester Soccer.
Right. So the club's agreed to host a promotion night for us on August 21st, and that's just an opportunity for us to kind of shout out and celebrate all the good things that your Union Foundation is now doing in the community, whether that be returning high school soccer to Chester or the education mentorship kind of programs that we're working with the kids on in Chester, or coming down the track, a new mental fitness initiative. All of those things that we do or are planning to do, it's just an opportunity to shout out about that, get that out there. People become aware of what we do, and also raise a bit of money as well on the day. So we'll be having a halftime pledge drive that will be linked to the skills challenge, also alumni night.
Oh.
So the alumni are going to be there. They're going to be supporting us as well. You'll be able to pledge at halftime. You'll be able to bid on some superb silent auction items as well in the run up to it. And you might see my ugly face on the breakfast television news. People say I have a face for podcast, but I am going to try and get myself in the telly as well.
Devin can't stop staring at you. Don't worry about it.
It's
Also,
weird,
the
isn't it?
breakfast news. That's the best part of the news right there.
Oh yeah.
I'm here for it. Shout out to Alex Holly.
I was going to say he's got a secret weapon in Alex Holly's little boyfriend Fang.
Alex Holly made a video game. Like, she made it into a video game. That has to be a thrill.
How did you do in that? Because I didn't do so good.
That game is hard. Like, authentically a difficult video game.
Like-
I was not expecting that.
Like I was like, oh, I'm on the keyboard. Okay. I go, man, I was ready to go buy a joystick. I thought it might be easier on like an old Atari joystick.
So like the dude on Twitter who invented the game, he was like, I'm so hype. Everyone's like playing my game. Like, people were talking about this like player. I'm just like, dude, you made an authentically great and very difficult game where I'm just like, this could have been a very simple like one-off where you're just like, oh hey, yeah, I'm just gonna do that classic what was it, SI for Kids, where they always had those flash games and everything.
Yeah.
It's like, no, this is a goodie. Like,
I gotta tell you, we have got some of the most talented people in that part of the business. I want to shout out to Sean Kreider, to Greg Fallon, to Sumner Gillum. All those guys, they are so talented at what they do. It's unbelievable. I sometimes sit in meetings with them and just my jaw is on the table.
I was just pissed because this guy taught himself coding during COVID, and I taught myself how to drink more beer.
look,
I think I had a better COVID.
I told everyone.
Yeah,
like,
but
it's
you're
probably-
both in the same room still. So
Yeah. I told everyone with the podcast, at the beginning of the podcast, like, learning coding is a very, very great skill to just have on the back end. And see, this is like, it's coming into fruition.
how would Mayor of Easttown pronounce coding?
Pretty like how you just said it.
Coding.
Coding.
It's a nice coding session.
It's weird how coding and cocaine would sound the same.
Honestly, it sounds like she's saying Cody. But it's like Cody Sessions.
Did you know her house is behind my house?
I'm not shocked by
Wait,
that.
you're the ex-husband?
I mean, I'm drunk. You know.
I have some questions, sir.
Yeah.
I have some questions.
There you go.
Oh man, but no, I do want to say, like, Paul, we were talking about this pre. You've only been with the foundation for 2 years.
Oh man, I had a full head of curly blonde hair when I arrived.
Oh
Look at
my
me now.
God. And I mean, and this is just a shout out to you and even Hayes and everybody, but it's like the foundation was strong in the beginning of the union, and then they had issues and problems, and it kind of fell to the wayside, and kind of like the middle of the union lifespan, how we talk about the dark years. And then Paul came in and just breathed new life into it. And there's a lot of stuff that we at the Sons of Ben want to do. Like, we're talking about maybe doing some fun runs and stuff like that, just to jointly do something within the community. So I just want to let you guys know, when we sat there and said we had to sell Shield merch, when 50% of profits would go to a charity.
Yeah.
We had an internal debate with the board, and some people had in the mind the old foundation. They're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, I don't know about that," and then made them do their research, and they're like, "Oh shit,
Yeah, this is good.
this is where this money should go to. This makes the most sense." And probably for us, one of the easiest nonprofits, because it's funny, you talk about like we're a nonprofit, they're a nonprofit, but money still makes this thing work, and it sometimes muddies the water. These guys are so easy to work with, and when we're like, "Hey, we're gonna give you," it's not a lot of money. Say we're like, "We're gonna give you $500. Can this go to shin guards for the kids?" Yeah, no problem. Where if you give that to the American Cancer Foundation, like, "Hey, can you make sure you get kids like baseball hats?" Like, no, this is going to parking for our CEO. So
I was going
it's
to say
just-
pens, but yeah.
yeah. So if you're thinking of giving to someone and it's not the Sons of Ben, give to the Union Foundation for sure.
Yeah, like we need more money so that Devin can like fund all of his extravagant tailgates and all that fun
I
stuff.
know, man. Kid's got a pizza oven.
You
he's
can
got a new
respond to that, by
board,
the way,
like-
Devin. You're good. I can still hear your reactions to it.
Can
It's fine.
anybody else hear?
Devin, did you
No,
buy a
no
new
one can
pizza
else hear
stone
him.
yet? Devin broke the pizza stone.
Devin did break the
No.
pizza
Yeah.
stone.
You want to talk about that during
I
tailgates?
can't
Because
even-
we're going to get to
can't even
Union
Yeah, we can
DC.
talk about tailgates. We can talk about tailgates.
Here's the thing, Devin. Again, everyone
wait.
can hear you respond to this, so it's fine. So like the podcast itself can hear you.
Oh, the podcast can hear it.
The podcast, y'all
Jesus.
can't hear him, but
We
the
can't
podcast can
hear
hear
him.
him. This is my favorite
This is
podcast
horrible.
already.
This is
By the way,
horrible.
I love this. No, keep all of this. This
He's
is great.
not letting me transition at all.
No, he's
Jesus,
not.
because I was going to say, guys, little Union news. We had a game this weekend.
We did.
We brought the Thunder. We brought the Lightning. We brought like 360 people.
That's what I should have done. I should have done ACDC. What the hell
Yeah.
was I thinking? Devin, I blame you.
I know, but
No one
so
told me not to do it.
We had Union DC. Paul comes strolling in at the end of the tailgate.
I
and
saw
it-
that.
It looked like I felt like a zombie from the apocalypse. He strolls in like fresh as a daisy. How you guys doing? We're like, we just got our ass kicked by
We just saw-
360 fans.
Oh my god, it was the first scenes of a post-apocalyptic movie where you're just like, now we're just hunting and gathering and starting to like get corn going so we can rebuild society again. And it's just like that. I have never poured so many beers in my natural born life and then had to dance to DMX. It was a lot.
And you say like we were just making corn. Corn meaning I was grabbing IPAs out of my secret stash in my cooler in my truck.
Yeah, we had
I-
to dip into our own personal stashes to
Yeah.
satiate all of these thirsty
Oh.
heathens. My
We're
God.
going to be having some talks with Yards and 2SP. Oh boy.
Oh my God, we that's about a third of their weekend input needs to come down to Chester now.
So just we'll get it. All right, let's get into the tailgate. Get Devin's. chopping
Devin,
up
we're
in
there
bed.
now.
So hold on, Devin. Background: we had the most amount of people in 4 or 5 years. I
Easily.
mean, COVID over. Like it's. We had probably a little over 360, 370. Devin, you can correct me later. We opened it up to about 30 people from Screaming Eagles because we have a good relationship with them.
It
Not
turned
Bar
into
Brava,
about 60.
not District Ultras. Y'all are assholes.
I
But-
saw the guy who threw the bottle.
Yeah. So they came, and we had a great time. But we bought food for over 300 people. Gone. I'm telling you, we had around 12 kegs of beer.
Gone.
I mean, we usually close it down at 6:15. Call last call. 6:05. We were limping through handing out cans of beer, and I mean that's nothing to sneeze at. That was a lot of beer. People were like, oh, it's like 2 or 3 beers a people. No, that was like some people were coming up with 2 cups. Yeah, you guys coming up with 2 cups. My girlfriend's gonna say no to that. Trust me. She won't let me have 2 beers at a time. She ain't gonna let you have 2 beers at a time. It ain't gonna happen.
She let me have 2 beers, but
I
no.
know she likes you better.
No, but I will say this: we definitely made sure that people were satiated with beer content. Like no one was thirsty. They might have wanted more,
Yeah.
but no one went thirsty. That's for sure. It
And
was
and,
definitely
and for that big old price, that $10 whole if you remember.
oh god,
Yeah.
yeah.
Just $10, you get all that.
We got
As a
Devin, we
member,
got
if
up the
you-
prices now.
If you pre-buy,
I'm about to
which
start
gives
some
you the day
fees.
before,
Yeah.
it's $10 if you're a member. 15 non-member. By the way, we're gonna up the non-member price, Devin. That's just a
Yeah,
little secret.
that feels like a cool 20
and then it's like
now.
15 or 20 if you walk up.
How
It's
do I join?
Unbelievable. www.sonsofben.com. You have a credit card? We even take British credit cards. Don't worry about it.
Wait! You were already a member. What have we been doing this whole
The
time?
front office
I
has
need
been
to sign up.
boycotting membership.
First off,
Like Tim McDermott's brother's a member, but Tim McDermott isn't.
First off, I'm gonna tell you this right now. I'm gonna give me 5 minutes with Chris Albright. He's a Sons of Ben member with bells on. Don't even give me that.
We can't afford his hair product.
No one can,
I know.
but he can.
Yeah.
And that's the point.
Yeah.
He's a beautiful man.
Oh my
He really
God.
is.
Very, very beautiful.
Just
He's,
puts
he's
it
the
all
only
together.
person. He's the only person that David Beckham doesn't want to get a picture with because he outshines him.
That doesn't surprise me.
Honestly, back in the days when Curtin was dressing like a good old dapper gentleman, like I'm here for his transition into casual wear. But back when he was doing the long suits, I was just like, "You're good, but are you Chris Albright?"
No.
Nobody.
Nobody.
Chris Albright.
So Devin, we're talking about fashion. Why don't you talk about how you sweat it through 3 shirts at the tailgate?
Listen, when it feels like 102 outside and it's like a 97% humidity out there, it's rough times. It is rough times. But no,
It was it was absolutely like I'm on Team Devin here because I went through 3 shirts myself before we even got to the game itself. But here's the thing, everyone to ask me, like, when I go to games, like, I used to have full backpacks pre-COVID because I needed to have several shirts, possible underwear, maybe some socks here because I'm gonna sweat through all of this stuff. Push. No. But legitimately, like, there's always about 1 or 2 games in the middle of summer where I'm just like, every piece of clothing I'm going to take home will be not only wet, but soaked through. And that was that game for multiple reasons.
I mean, one of the best things we've done this year, I keep saying, is we for somehow convinced Katie Fellinger to come out of retirement and she does weather reports and we put it out on our social media. And she's been batting like 1,000.
We made her curse on a
Oh, yeah.
podcast. I think that's still our highlight.
Oh yeah, it's definitely a highlight. So she was on vacation with her family and does this weather report and she goes, "It's going to be steamy AF." And I just remember looking at my girlfriend, I go, 6 shirts. She's like, "What?" I go, "I'm packing 6 shirts for this tailgate in this game." And I went through 5. I had one that was clean, so that was good. But yeah, it was hot. Devin was a sweaty mess. Adam, do you know what I got to do at this tailgate that I've never done before in my life?
Was that my guy?
Meet the Devin family.
The whole ensemble.
Yeah.
But wait, it's great. So I run into Jess and Devin's mom in the parking lot, and I look at this woman. I'm like, "That's Devin's mom." Like there was no hesitation in my voice. There was no like. I looked at her for a half of a second. I was like, "This is the woman who birthed Devin. I know this. I can see it all in."
I
her
asked her,
face.
did she
Yeah.
find him floating down a river in a basket? And that's how it became Devin?
That's his mom. If you look at each other, that's his mom. You know. And then I met the dad. I met the whole. And first off, how is your mom that small? It's like she's just like the tiniest little woman. I love it.
Your mom is Willow size.
Like,
Shit.
legitimately.
Willow will outgrow her by the age of 12.
By the age of 7. What are we doing here? But no, but I enjoyed meeting the Garcias. That was a really fun time, and they seemed to have a blast. Like they
Yeah.
were all about it.
It's funny, my stepdad was helping out grilling. I don't know if you guys saw that, but he off-trained and was helping out. He's like, "Yeah, I love this shit. It's great." It's like, fantastic.
Look, Pino needed some
Should
some
we
relief.
fake laugh too or no?
No, see, you
No, don't. You don't have to tell it again. Don't tell it again.
I won't even tell it.
Don't
I
tell
won't
it
even tell the story. Ultimately, though, shout out to Pino because he also needed some help. So shout out to the reinforcements
Yes.
that
Listen,
came.
shout out to the volunteers. And seriously, if you want to get involved with the Sons of Ben, the tailgate is the best way to do it. You won't, if you volunteer, I promise you, you won't sweat through 3 shirts like Devin. We just make bored people do that.
No,
know?
you will.
No. We will give them jobs that they will, thrive in and enjoy.
They also gave us squirt guns this time around, so I was just
Yeah.
hitting
Yes,
Devin
I
whenever I got a
Did
shot.
pick up some squirt guns for you
But,
guys.
I like that.
No, but listen about the volunteers. Like, listen, it was fantastic having an event that large, and I was super thankful for everybody coming out. But in order to consistently put on events like this, we need some help. That was probably one of the biggest setbacks of the entire day. Was like everybody that was helping out was like at their max capacity on like the hottest day of the year. It was a lot of work. So if you're somebody that just like has been thinking about volunteering, just email me. Just do anything. Get in contact with me in some way. You can use the link we send out to sign up. Any way, shape, or form, we could really use the help, especially if we're going to keep having delegates this large.
If y'all make me and TC pour 95 beers after we've already killed 2 grown ass men and Phil and Vince. I'm coming for you. All right. I love y'all. We need some reinforcements.
Yeah, my dad's 77 years old. He wants to make 78. Help the man. or
That
he's
was-
gonna kill you.
I love you guys. I love all of you. I will pour you beer into the nethers, but Jesus, that was it was just relentless.
Oh yeah, it was like barbarians at the gate. There
Like,
was
what?
Yeah.
And then the 2-pronged attack because we had
Oh, yeah.
a line on either side. We were getting it on both ends. It was terrible.
I was just glad the porta potties were working.
Oh
They
my
couldn't be
God.
gotten ugly. But,
No,
yeah.
see, some of the people were like, "I gotta go to a porta potty." I'm like, the tree lining is right there, people. I'm just trying to help y'all
But
cut out some time.
I mean, we joke about it, but it was a good time. The DJ was great.
Oh yeah,
you know,
shout out to Nick Johnson. Shout out to Nick
Shout out
Johnson.
to
He
Nick
was
Johnson, yeah.
fantastic. Absolutely fantastic.
we finally had cornhole again. Because
Cornhole!
of COVID, we're like, let's not throw virus bags around. So it was like little things of like, oh, we can play cornhole, we can hang out, we can, you know, and shout out to Dietz and Watson. They became a recent sponsor and they've just thrown out different food that you're like, holy crap. So
Yeah.
between the pizza oven and that, it's been a blast. And Devin, you only got to August 1st to rest up. Get your laundry done. You might need some more shirts.
Shout out on Logic for the watermelon shandy was a hit, and
The watermelon
it
shandy was very good.
So shout out to them as
Yeah.
well.
People were big fans of that. Shout out to them. And it was, you know, one of my favorite tailgates we've had. I did enjoy how Mr. Johnson was like, "Oh wait, these songs have curse words in them. Let me see if I can mix these in real time." And he did a pretty damn good job at that. I was actually impressed. But I was like, that's always the fun gig when you're a regular DJ and occasionally you're just like, ah shit, Kids Bop. I needed that. Where was that when I needed this?
And I don't know if you saw this, Adam, but you did make a certain sportscaster's Twitter.
Yes.
There was a
yes.
tribute to Egg Harbor Township's own Biz Marquis since he passed away,
Yes.
R.I.P. And then Ty Johnson from 97.5, who just decided to come out of the blue with his wife, came to the tailgate, and all of a sudden I see Adam was doing a rendition of "You're Just a Friend," and it made it on his Twitter.
My takeover of Philadelphia sports will be slow yet hostile. I don't know if you are prepared for it. But
One
it's on
off
the
key at a
horizon.
time, my friend. One off key at a time.
Yes. Did you want to talk about the Kenny Hansen donated cornhole stands?
Yeah, well, we got some cornhole. I think he's still talking. So
Yeah.
go ahead. Let,
No,
shout
he's
out,
good.
shout out to
he was literally finishing up. Yes.
shout out to Mama
Keep this.
Gusler.
Mama Gus. Yes. That was. I mean, first, I found out a couple of days ago that for the second consecutive year, Philadelphia or King of Prussia was the home of the Cornhole Championships of America. Like the
Wait a minute, that's
yes,
a thing.
The Valley
Oh,
Forge
that's a
Casino.
thing?
Yes,
During-
there's a cornhole league. It's called the ACL. It's the American Cornhole League.
Sponsored by Johnsonville Brats.
Johnsonville Bratwurst sponsors this league, and they play their championships in the Valley Forge Casino in lovely, beautiful King of Prussia.
Wait a minute. Can anybody enter that?
Well, you have
No,
to be a
they're
pro.
no. They're
What?
pros.
How'd you turn pro at cornhole?
This is a very good question. It's the same question I have about turning pro in poker, but I feel like it's on the similar lines. You know,
Gotta tell you, I
find
thi-
a league.
I think my father-in-law could turn pro. It's pretty good.
Look,
Does he
There's-
have a bowling shirt that's got a lot of sponsors like
He's got lots of
Bratwurst and
t-shirts.
condoms?
He's got lots of
and,
t-shirts
like,
with
yeah.
no sleeves.
Monster Energy drink.
Oh yeah, they wear these like work shirts, and there's no room except for all these sponsors, and it's like Joe's gas station, condoms, and you could tell this guy's never used a condom in his life because all he does is play cornhole.
Sir,
Yeah, just so it's kind of like your video game guys.
first off, they're more likely to have never touched a woman than the guys who play cornhole, if I'm really honest with you. Second, what I find very important is the fact that the only way that this league would survive if it wasn't for the NASCAR based sponsorships, because it's not like ticket sales again at the Valley Forge Casino
Oh,
are topping any. I'm not even sure what the capacity of whatever rec hall
They walk
were
into
using
that-
was.
they walk into that ball room and go, "Oh shit, this isn't where the buffet is,"
Look,
and they walk out.
look, I always say that I am a Wayne train through and through, but my first 5 years on this planet were spent in King of Prussia, so it is near and dear to my heart. But at the same time, if you're going to the Valley Forge Casino, I'm not exactly sure you were there for cornhole in the first place. Like that, if you go to the Valley Forge Casino, you're gambling. Only because I know The only reason why
Oh,
you'd be
you're
at the
looking
Valley
for
Forge Casino
hookers.
is straight to lose money. There's no show there that's going to entice you. There's no atmosphere, no 5-star restaurant.
Oh.
You are there to gamble.
I've been to Valley Forge. Isn't that the place where you guys had a little camp and,
We camped out.
spied
It was
over
like
the
it was
spied over the Brits in
it was
Philadelphia?
it was a winter
Guerrilla
camp.
warfare, man.
Yeah.
That's
Oh,
how we
man.
go. We lost our feet. We had to eat our horses. You know, we got taught by some
A French
Austrian
guy?
gentlemen
Oh yeah.
to actually fight in lines and everything.
Ah,
you know,
yeah.
we were taught some discipline in the
Yeah.
hills of Valley Forge.
There's no one of the Brits didn't leave Philly. They're all toasty inside.
Oh my
their
God, they were
coaches.
having such a
They were
great
at the
time.
pubs. They were having a grand
They were
old
having
time.
they were just owning Philly for the entire. So they were like, "What winter?
They were,
this
they were
is
eating
great."
cheesesteaks. They were just their
Oh.
feet were up. They were having hoagies. It was a classic.
That's always my favorite 2-part war, really quick, because it's always just like from the American perspective, we're always just like, man, that time we beat totalitarianism and tyranny. We were fighting a revolution, and the British were like, yeah, that got a little expensive, so we just stopped fighting.
Tyranny.
after a
You
while.
you guys just wouldn't pay your taxes.
Yeah, you're
What
right.
are you talking about?
you can
Everybody's
tell-
got to pay tax.
a
guys.
tax rate that they would find barbaric in today's times. They
You
would
could
be
tell
like,
someone
what are you paying?
taught
Those?
British history over that side of the pond.
Unbelievable.
It was like-
The war of tax evasion. That's literally what that was called.
Didn't we just fight a war to defend you from the French? And then
We did.
By the way, we've run up a great big bill. Would you like to contribute to that bill? No, we'd rather be independent. Thanks very much.
Let me tell you about a little country called Afghanistan.
Now we know why the British kids are so
They know our
brainwashed.
history
They are
better
so
than we do. That's
brainwashed
why.
by this little island in the North Atlantic. They're just brainwashed by this stuff. They don't know what America's like. We light stuff on fire, America.
Third
We've got
grade Pennsylvania history
burgers,
is
America.
propaganda. That's all it
Yeah.
is. It's American propaganda the whole way.
I'm going to be, well, my daughter's 3 years old. So when she starts to go to school of it, I'm going to be conflicted here.
There's gonna be one moment where
Oh.
she kicks you in the shins, and she's
Yeah,
just
go
gonna be
home.
like Benedict, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's the entire conversation.
Now, speaking of kicking
Yes.
and kicking some ass,
Did we actually even talk about the game?
We had a
didn't even
game.
talk-
We
we didn't
had
even
a
talk
game.
about the game at all.
we played that fake capital, Washington, D.C.
Yo, the OG capital be
I know.
the pretenders that aren't even in a state. Like, what are you, a floating
Yeah,
district?
You're a swamp.
Even Wayne Rooney didn't see out his contract there, right?
No.
By the way, I love that because Wayne Rooney, the number one reason Wayne Rooney did not, because he realized he had to travel to San Jose on a cross-country flight and was like, nah.
and have a
I'm good.
roommate.
And have a roommate.
Yeah.
And it's like, and this thing might not be, it's not a private plane. You might be on a charter. Like, you might have to have a layover in Kansas City. And he's like, no, I'm going home. I'm
Yeah.
a coach. I'm good.
He took this as like a 1 year holiday where there's no paparazzi, and then he said, "I'm out of here, thanks."
So I swore to God that that quote from Higuain where he was just like, I thought I was just gonna come over here, smoke a cigarette, and kick a ball, and no, it's hard as hell. That was a real quote.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that was the Onion. He was just like, no, I thought this was easy. This is not easy. And I was just like, well, you're up.
No.
Figure it out.
But no, the game. I mean, God, after all the tailgate, Devin, all that, we went in, and the whole time we're like, oh, it's gonna rain, it's gonna rain. No,
It's
we're
gonna rain.
good, We're good. And then it rained. Sergio Santos rained. It rained a couple cards. It rained some VAR. It rained some.
So much VAR.
So much VAR. I was like, I thought Carl Mandel was sponsoring VAR for God's sakes. Like,
Even though upon further review, because I always like to, because when I yell in the stadium, I get caught on like the microphone sometimes,
Oh, yeah.
and I sound like an idiot if it's a very obvious call that I just can't see because of my depth perception. So sometimes like the
like your
review.
back's to it too, and you're
Yeah.
like, yellow
I'm like,
card
"What?
against
Yeah."
us. You suck. Yeah,
But I looked at all the VARs, and I'm like, yeah, those were all accurately done.
They-
that was
they
all.
did
That,
okay.
that was
You
all.
guys
Yeah.
fans of VAR?
When it works,
when it works in our favor.
Is anybody a
I'm
fan
not sure
of
I'm a fan of it.
VAR?
I think it
no
should
one,
be.
no one's a fan of VAR, but they are a fan of VAR. Because like you're a fan of VAR because the integrity of it is kept. Like no hand of God moments can happen anymore, where you're just like, oh yeah, that's the most obvious thing in the universe, and
Here-
no one's calling it back because
here's
the guy already pointed to the
And
spot.
especially in America, we're used to like replays in football or baseball,
Yeah.
but
Even
soccer-
basketball now.
Yeah, soccer's the one sport that to me is asinine, where you're expecting a 40-year-old man to keep up with world-class athletes, where there's, let's just say, not the goalies, 10 people running, 20 people running in a direction, and one guy that's in his 40s at best has to keep up and make a call.
or less.
Or yeah, so I go, maybe VR is. Maybe we should have that because. And here's the
That's a
thing:
tough one.
I don't trust a sideline official. I want to
You don't
trust.
think you don't think you should keep the game raw, human? The players make mistakes. The officials make mistakes. You don't
Well,
think we
I
should
think they
keep that?
still make mistakes. I
I'm
don't
not
think it.
against.
I don't think it.
You don't think it takes away from that
Oh yes.
intense pleasure you get from scoring a goal, and then you go, oh.
because you're always waiting. Yes, yeah. I mean, it's the same thing in like football. It's the same thing in base. Like,
I'm still waiting for like VR. Well, is it gonna? Oh, there's no VAR. Yeah, we can celebrate. I mean,
Yeah.
buzzer beaters in the NBA have
yeah.
changed that way, where it's just like, unless it's like a no doubter, everyone's just like, yeah, wait a second.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Like that does kind of suck.
I don't
ain't
want
gonna
it to take over, but right now, and I think and this might be the only time on this pod I will ever compliment MLS over, European. I think MLS has done VAR better than the Premier League
I agree.
has.
I agree. I think the Premier League's made a
They've made
catastrophic
a
error.
shambles.
Yeah.
Absolute
shambles,
shit.
right.
On both, like as a terrible Chelsea fan, I've watched way too many matches where I'm just like, it's 1-0 games, and I'm just like, even for Chelsea, we didn't deserve that.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's a really horrific
No, we always
call.
deserve
you
that
know?
one.
But then
Always.
all Chelsea fans are terrible.
We
So-
are not great people. I will be the first to admit it.
Now I got a trivia question.
What's that?
Who are the champions of Europe?
We are the champions.
that's
of
right.
Europe.
Okay.
We're just terrible people.
Yeah,
the champions of
well,
Europe.
that Europe does that to you.
Both
Europe
of these
corrupts.
things can be true. Isn't that right, Devin?
Still can't talk about that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, you've had a rough year, but we'll get into that.
I still
later.
can't talk about the Sixers if it makes you feel any better.
Now, Devin, do we have any more? I mean, we got to talk about the rain delay and the thunderbolts of lightning.
I mean,
very, very frightening.
I don't think we actually talked about the game, if I'm honest with you. I think we talked about Sergio Santos' goal,
yeah,
That's
that's
the
about
over
it.
it.
and that was
but
about it.
we don't
Like,
need to
yeah.
get in, right?
No, the
mean-
fantasticness of the game clincher, the unselfishness of Santos to give it to Shibilko,
Shibilko.
who needs some goals. He needs to just kick it a little bit.
If
Yeah.
you play to his strengths, he will score you goals.
Oh,
If
of
you,
course.
If you judge a fish on how well it can climb a tree,
No, of course. But he needs service.
he does.
He needs someone to give him the
Now,
ball.
when Santos crossed the ball to him, a little bit of you, were you a little nervous? A little.
No. I thought,
I love Casper.
Actually, when I saw it was a 2v goal, I was just like, yeah, I like, because here's the thing, that Bill Hamid's a good goalie, so I don't think Santos had the angle for that. But I definitely, when I saw it go over to Shibilko, I'm just like, and even though it did hit Bill Hamid because he's just a giant human, but I was just like, when Shibilko got on, I'm like, yeah, we're good, we're out here.
Yeah. When Santos first passed it, I go, because
Yeah.
I love Casper, but when you love someone, you're like, oh God, he's in his head. Is this gonna? And when he scored, I'm like, it was just more relief. It wasn't even relief that it was 2-1. It was relief like, oh good, yeah, okay, all right, he's got momentum. Yes, it's back. Like, because he's very streaky.
Oh yeah.
He has good and bad, and he takes it personal, and he kicks shit, and he yells, and he screams, and he doesn't talk to people, and you're like,
But isn't
so-
that what you want as a fan? You want to see your players
Yes.
really,
Yeah.
But I
really
don't-
bloody care.
Yes.
I don't want it to affect the next game, and sometimes with him, I think it affects him.
That
The
strikes
It affects the
game.
It
Like,
occasionally
Strikers-
affects the video
yeah.
board when he
Yeah.
kicks a freaking hole in it.
Yeah,
you know?
like he's way better now, but he had the reputation of he would get so mad that he would kick a trash can and then break his toe. I go, I don't want to ever quote Chip Kelly, but your best ability is availability, and if you are so passionate, but you break yourself and you can't play the next game, you're no good to us.
No
Like,
kicking
Looking
trash
at
cans
you,
anymore.
Aaron
Yeah.
Nola.
Yeah.
I
With
know.
zero
Yeah.
landfill.
Yeah.
With zero
Yeah,
landfill,
Nola.
guys. Zero landfill. No kicking trash cans.
Exactly. No kicking the recycling bins.
No, and I mean, look, ultimately, if we want to just ever so gently touch on one of the greatest, like monsoonian downpours I've ever experienced at Talent Energy /
Now, where were you
PPL /
hiding out?
Subaru.
Were you in a luxury suite or?
No, we had just wrapped up the 50-50. The 50-50 closes on the 75th minute. So then what follows is the whole kind of post 50-50, letting the winner know, doing the paperwork. And then I let my 50-50 sellers go, and then it's when it came down.
By the way, how do I win that thing? Because I won in the past, and now that I've met you, I haven't won at all, man. Not at all. Won one time.
Oh, do you notice how I stopped winning contests the minute like they put me on the? I became fan of the year that one time.
Yeah.
I stopped losing draws.
If there's some sort of imagery of you inside the stadium, then you can't possibly win those.
Here's the thing.
That's good. I've got no imagery because Tim McDermott's like, nope, get
It's
his
not
ugly
even-
face
it's
off
not
of
even
there.
in the stadium. It's the truck outside the stadium. I don't know if that still counts. It's funny. It drove by me too, and I was just like, "Ah, that's me."
Do you point that out to your girlfriend every time?
No, she's horrified by that one because I told you the story. It was parked out in front of her apartment during Pride Week, and she was like, "Well, that was scary as hell just to see your dumbass face in front of my building." I was like, "Hello."
Did you do that on purpose?
That's
All the
true
time.
love.
By the way, no one has ever photoshopped in the stripper pole. I was hoping for that one, and I'm just saying, it's about 2 years in now.
I think some digital marketing people that are listening to this can make that happen, and maybe even make an Iron Atom game where it's just you and a stripper pole.
Oh no, please don't. Or maybe, honestly, that could help the brand.
Devin, do we have anything more about this game? Oh, we haven't talked about Thunderbolts of Lightning. Very, very frightening. Where was Devin during this time? Were you in the concourse? Were you crying in the
Yes.
men's room? Like,
I
what was
was-
going on, man?
I was under the river, and what a fantastic environment that was. I love moments like that.
So wait, was I the only one who stayed?
I
I
stayed
did not
until-
stay. I did not
You
stay.
left.
No,
I left,
You left.
but we left.
Were
and
you
then
there?
they
Did you
started
stay the
game.
whole-
I was there. I was
Okay,
there.
so just me and Paul. Okay, cool. Only the cool kids stayed.
As I got to the parking lot, they
Yeah.
started the game back up, and I'm
That's
like,
funny.
"You son of a."
So I talked to one of the security guards as I was just like, my battery's down to like 6%. Can I leave and come back? Because at that time they already told us it was like we're not starting until 11:20, and it was like 11. It was like 10:45, and I was just like, all right, we already know when it's starting.
Yeah.
Can I just sit in my car for like 20 minutes and dry off and come back? And he was like, yeah, it's fine. Because like I still have my capo badge. He's like, yeah, it's fine. We'll see you when you come back. And I was like, okay. And I came back completely changed. I usually come into the stadium with a full backpack. I had just my cell phone and my keys, and I was just like, what are we doing? Are we doing this still? Is this still soccer?
So if I understand that correctly, you pulled the "Do you know who I am?" card.
I did it, but it worked.
But he showed the badge.
It wasn't like I said. It wasn't like I walked up and said, "Call my agent," but I definitely was just like, I got a little.
But he was
clout,
pointing
right?
at the van. Look at that picture.
Look, I'm on a truck. I was on a mural once, several advertisements. There should be like maybe.
You were shouting at the guy saying, "Do you want me to call Mark Evans?" Because
Right.
I will.
I-
Because I
man,
will.
I'm going up to Richie. I'm going up to the top, man. I got people in
well,
high
there-
places.
There's
I'm sorry, Mr. Leibowitz.
Mark,
we have
Mark.
a conversation.
Mark, we love you, but we've got other cell phone numbers. I'm like, you know who my best friend is? It's Kevin Durant.
Right, exactly. I'm
Just-
like, yo, some man in Brooklyn right now who might or might not be Mr. Dr. Green Thumb, but still.
Yeah, so I mean, so Devin left early. I got kind of told leave early, which was okay because it was. I tell you what, driving home, Devin, what
Yeah.
was driving home for you? I went through on 95 a 3-foot puddle doing about 60 miles an hour, and I'm like,
Oh yeah, me
Oh,
too.
shit.
I went to the same goddamn.
this is not
puddle,
the way I
swear.
want to die.
No, I don't know.
See, I stayed. It was me, Bros, Molly was still there, so like a handful of us were still hanging out through the whole thing.
And shout out to Bros, by the way, because he's like, yo, I
The
grabbed the
champion.
shield. I go, yep, take it around. He walked around the entire stadium on the concourse, letting fans take pictures. And that's why I text him. I'm like,
Yeah,
take it home with you. I know you've got stuff, being a board member, he can control it and hold on to it. And I go, I know you had friends you wanted to show. Take it. We'll figure out, the rest of the week and the
Mhm.
schedule. But I looked at pictures on social media the next day, and there's so many people. And then I'm looking in the stadium and go, all right, that's under the river end. Okay, that's at like 105. That's 120. I go, this dude walked
he
that
yeah.
35-pound shield with
The
one
whole
arm,
way.
like the whole way,
yeah.
and stopped so people could take their pictures with it. So, I mean, shout out to him. I mean, that's what the shield's about.
Yeah.
Is that's the reason we're the custodians of it, so we could, get it.
Yeah, I
and
saw-
show it to people. So yeah, that was one of the some of those rain delays are the most fun.
Yeah.
We had a couple
For
in
sure.
Open Cup games where there was like 10,000, 4,000 people in the stands.
10,000, man. What you talking about? No one saw.
Um,
10,000 never came to see Harrisburg.
Yeah, so that was being in the tunnel was
Yeah.
fun. I didn't have as much fun when I had to go to the restroom, and
You had to go to the DC side, right?
the let's just say some of our members in the district ultras were having a standoff,
I challenge you to.
and
a
I had to pull an
dance-off.
Adam Booth and pull out my capo badge to the security guard and like, hey, you need some help here? And I literally had to yell at our fans, be like, they're going to leave now. Like, well, they can, blah,
Well,
blah,
they
blah.
can bleep to the bleepity bleep with
And
the bleep with the bleep
then I had
with
to
the
yell
bleep.
at our members. I'm like, just step back to the wall. And then the DC people got back. But then 2 or 3 of the District Culture guys, and it's always, our little friends. They weren't invited, but our little friends were then throwing the finger and what are you going to do now? Because they knew they had a row of cops there. And I looked at the one cop. I go, you can walk him out or I'll walk his ass out. And the cop looked at me like, I got him, and just walked over like, just keep. And he didn't even the cop was just like, gave him the little shush. And the guy just walked away. Okay, humiliated. But it's just, why do people act like dicks?
I'm just like, especially, well, here's the thing. Whenever they meet a Chester cop, they're just like, oh, this guy's seen some shit. I ain't gonna mess up. Like, no one who's working the naval yard down at Buzzard Point is ever, comparable to a Chester City officer. So
I
they're
try to
just like,
tell
yeah.
all of the other supporters groups. I go, hey guys, it's a Saturday night. I go, if you get arrested, you're gonna spend the night in a Chester City prison.
Which is right next to a state prison.
And guess what? I don't think the judge works on Sundays.
He does not.
So you get another peanut butter sandwich
On a Monday.
till Monday.
There's
So
no
I go,
cheese
You might
steaks.
want to behave a little bit. This isn't a vacation. You're not going to Harrah's.
There's no
Well,
cheese.
Harrah's might
yeah.
be as tough as the casino.
Honestly,
as the
Harris might
prison.
also be a
Yeah.
prison, depending on who you're asking. So that's also a thing.
And your coppers wear guns, right?
Yeah, all of
The,
them.
the most
yeah.
you're going to get from an English Bobby is a tickle with a feather, and then he tells you to go home.
I saw that. No, they'll stop a streaker or two. My favorite thing about watching EPL matches is just when, especially if it's opposing fans, they all rush to celebrate in one spot, and 6 or 7 stewards all got to run together. Just be like, no, don't go on the field, no. And you can be like, please no. You can hear him just politely be like, please no, don't do, no.
They're just so polite over there, aren't they?
I love it.
It's just so well behaved.
So polite. It's
They're the
so-
best behaved supporters.
Oh, they're just.
Oh,
It's just such a beacon of excellence over there.
Speaking of Cafe La Aquila,
yeah. We gave them enough love last time.
we did. No,
we don't have to listen. We've got all
I
right.
just want some pizza on the walk home. That's
Two
all.
segments, and then we'll get into Paul's tiers. So real quick, U.S. men's national team Gold Cup. We are playing either now. Who do you guys want? It's the winner of what? Costa Rica or Jamaica?
I mean, as a person who actively has family in Jamaica, I feel weird about when the USA plays them. So I'm hoping that someone else can eliminate them, so I don't have to deal with that. But
Yeah, I mean, but as a Union fan, you're like, "Whoa, love to see everyone do well, but not against us." Like,
Or
I'm
just send
really
Jam-
And plus,
yeah,
with 3
it's-
Union players on the Jamaican team, it's a little hard to go against.
yeah, no, I would say send them home. Can the United States play Jamaica so they can send them home so we can get our
Oh,
goalie back?
that's a
That'd
good
be fun.
point. Devin with a good point.
we
Do it
just
for the country
Do
and do
it-
it for the Union.
do it for the club and country. Give me back my because I just realized right now we only have 2 strikers. So anybody want to help?
Yeah, and
Send them home, please.
and listen,
USA Jamaica, I think, would be a tasty tie.
it would be a fun. It'd be a fun game.
The-
And how many times have we played Costa Rica lately? So it's like I'm done with that
But
country.
here's the thing, and it's similar to watching the United States play Nigeria and basketball and all this. Jamaica is not your daddy's Jamaica. This is a very well coached, well organized squad. This Jamaica team believes it's a semifinals. It could be a finals participant. Remember Gold Cup a couple years ago, they played Mexico in the final here in Philadelphia. They're no strangers.
Oh wait, I just got breaking news that if if the U.S. plays Jamaica,
Yeah.
the Union ownership are going to fly a select member of Sons of Ben down to Andre Blake's Sports Bar in Jamaica to watch it.
I mean, please, I would go.
Yeah.
I
Also,
just
can I
got
just-
breaking news.
Yeah. Wait, and here's the thing.
That's
the
me
earpiece
making
that
shit up.
literally- The earpiece that literally no one saw. That was the best part about it.
I'm trying to guilt some ownership. Like, come on, Kevin, you got to.
No, they're
Kevin's got a jet. He can fly us down there.
look. Eventually, when
Richard Lubovich.
Yeah,
He's the guy's
Richard, you
guilt.
could-
Heart
yeah,
of
come
gold.
on. Yeah.
Heart of gold.
talk to Rich, and then he can talk to Kevin, and
Yeah.
then we can
We
make
can
all
make
that.
this
There
happen.
you go.
And Kevin's just like, I actually don't have that much money. I don't know what you're in comparison to my counterparts here. I'm actually not that much. The NBA pays but so much. There's a cap in this sport.
He's doing okay. Alumni updates. We don't have much. I know B and Mark are starting to get back to it for their next runs at gold and championship and cups in
Yeah.
Belgium and Austria. So hopefully they do well and make us proud. But we do have some random news. Jim Curtin's favorite asshole got fired.
Who?
Atlanta fires another coach.
Oh man,
And they've run through more coaches than we've run through sporting directors.
which is impressive because we've
it's
gone
pretty
through a lot of
impressive.
those.
It's pretty good. So yeah, they're spoiled fans, bitched and moaned, and apparently this guy is a distant relative to Peter Novak. Now you were not around for the Peter Novak
The
years.
dark times.
If you ever get a chance to corner Sebastian Letou with a beer, ask him about Peter and his coaching methods, and you will have more than one beer.
you may need several.
But yeah, this coach
It's going
apparently
to take a while.
wouldn't let them have their CBA agreed to breaks and would
Yes.
deny them water in Atlanta.
This was
for
some totalitarian bullshit, which is what I'm
Yeah.
here for. But
and
no.
and the fans are mad because they're only in like sixth place, so that's not good enough for that
This
team.
is, I mean, that's the craziness because especially with a city like Atlanta, where like this is our only source of sports joy. Like, shout out to the Hawks, they're still good, but at the same time, it's just like this team actually won something, and now they're not winning things. And we thought it was supposed to be golden forever. There's 75,000 of us. Is that not enough? And the answer is no.
Not at all. So Atlanta, good luck with your new coach. By the way, shortlist in a random poll. Lamps.
I mean, oh my God, Frank
Could you imagine
Lampard.
Frank Lampard.
Frank
in
Lampard
Atlanta?
coaching Atlanta United would make me happy.
I wish people would see Paul's
wait.
face right now.
I
He
just had
almost,
to-
he almost
Frankie
spit his beer
Lamps.
out.
I've just had to put my beer down.
Right. Hold on. Absolutely not. No. I need Frankie Lamps and I want to bring back Thierry Henry too. Can we get it all
If-
going?
If Mourinho wasn't so ensconced in Roma right
Mourinho?
now,
You're
I would
Mourinho?
love to see Mourinho in Atlanta. I would
God.
love to see him with that fan group.
No,
It
Miami.
would be he's going to go to Miami.
He is going
His
to be
next
the future,
stop is
like,
Miami. I'm
Absolutely.
convinced his next stop is
Absolutely.
Miami. But I'd love to see him in Atlanta, and he'd be like, "What the fuck is this?" Like,
And-
oh God, it would be great.
What's the rules on MLS management? Can you pay them whatever you want?
Whatever you want, whatever
Yeah.
you can afford.
So it's different, right?
Yeah, ask Jim.
Yeah.
You don't see the new Lamborghini he's in now? Coach of the
You-
year.
It's a
Jeez, you
different-
think those sneakers are cheap?
It's a different color every week. I can barely keep up with him.
This man came out with retro Jordan 1s where I was like, those might be $1,000. Like, yes. I was like, that my guy.
No rules except what the owners tell each other. So yeah, they can pay what they want. So
It matters how much you pay your center back, though. But beyond that,
Yeah.
they're just like, you can pay the coach whatever you want.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. All right, so let's get into it. We are all Premier League fans, well, except for Devin. Devin's a fan of Tottenham, so he's not a Premier
He's,
League fan.
he's
It's
a
a
fan of the
fan of-
championships, basically.
Judging by his shirt, he's a fan of FC.
Basel.
Is it Basel or
That's,
Bar?
no,
Basel?
This I would explain why I have this jersey, but he can't.
No,
hear me, so
explain it to
really
the
is,
audience
like-
and let it just linger.
But I will explain
Yeah,
to our
explain to the
listeners.
listeners.
No, shout out to what's the name of it? Away Days FC. Always amazing mystery kits from them. So this was the result of that.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, when you get those lovely fun bags, you just hope to see what you get. Hence why I got my Carver's Ham United.
What does your Google search history look like, Devin? Is it like pizza recipes?
all soccer.
and like
Pretty much.
random,
Yeah, all soccer. Yeah. You're
just
Google. Yeah.
random weird teams that you.
Oh,
can
yeah,
Let me click your history
yeah.
real quick and let me see all that soccer.
Hold on, guys. I
Just
gotta
a
go
Google
clear my
search.
history. I'll be back.
The dirtiest tricks. I see you.
He's a believer.
Oh, he's a believer.
He's a believer. Down.
Yeah.
Down. Off the top
Oh.
rope. I'm here for that though.
So in Premier League news, Tottenham's still doing nothing.
Yeah.
Chelsea is just pouring it on for. Well, they're really not doing much yet. There's rumors about a certain striker.
There's rumors about like
from-
3 strikers. Like they were
Yeah.
like, here comes Lewandowski. Here comes for 5 seconds Harry Kane. Here comes I'm just like, isn't Timo Werner supposed to be good? What am I doing here?
Well, we'll
Yeah,
figure
what,
it out. But
what if
but-
he's a sophomore Phoenixing?
but here's the most insulting thing about this.
We lost
discussion.
Giroud.
Man City,
Yeah.
Manchester
So
City.
I got to tell you.
Manchester City. He was a United
Oh.
fan until 4 years ago, and then he went right to the blue. It was
I
weird.
grew up in the 80s and 90s. It wasn't easy being a Man City fan. in the
I can't
80s and
imagine.
90s. Up, down,
I
down
can't
again,
imagine.
down again,
Yeah,
down again.
Yeah.
It was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous.
What are your talks with Danny like?
Danny Higginbottom,
Yeah.
I got to tell you, it's difficult. He's a Man United fan.
Well, he played. I mean,
he's
he's
a Man
shooting.
United
I mean,
love.
Played. I mean, come on. Just because you cleaned the boots of the people who played for Manchester United,
Oh,
you
my.
can't say that you're a Manchester United
Do you say
player.
the same thing to Clayperson when you see him?
Just because you sniffed the World Cup doesn't
Right?
mean
Yeah.
you-
I
Just because you were around when the thing was hoisted doesn't mean.
Those guys grew up. Those guys, I can't even like Voldemort. You can't even refer to them by their name.
Oh my! They who should not be named.
They who should not be named grew up. They had it all too easy in the 90s and those early noughties, and now look at them. They're just bitter and twisted, and they've not grown up with having had to deal with adversity and defeat, and they can't handle it in their grown-up lives. And now they're just bitter, twisted, old divorcees.
and who here's
Damn,
the
he
weird
just
thing.
led Atlanta.
And it's like you look at so I was a fan of the Premier League in the early to mid 90s.
Right. Okay. So Man United time, right?
Man United time, and I
Yeah.
was by association a Chelsea fan because of my old roommate. And Chelsea sucked back then, so I
They
don't
were like
feel
the City.
Yeah,
We were the same.
yeah.
Chelsea
So-
Chelsea always used to park their cars behind the goal.
I talk to younger people,
Boring
peop-
Chelsea.
people that are like in their early 20s. They don't know that United was so dominant. They have no idea how
Great.
dominant that United was.
Great.
And it cracks me up because I look at one of my best friends, cousin Richie, who should be listening now. You're behind on the pods. He's a United fan. And I laugh at him now. Laugh. And he's like, well, you have a Russian billionaire. I'm like, your owners are fine. Don't worry. They're not hurting. They're not on food stamps anymore. Like, you're okay.
Look, we're all terrible.
we're terrible people.
Whether it's the Kroenkes, whether it's now apparently LeBron James owns part of Liverpool, we're all terrible people. We all of our ownerships are awful. Let's just be real about that. But what I do enjoy, what I find fascinating, is now since we're getting a lot of crossover appeal between some of the people who were the Euro snobs of yore coming to be MLSs, they're like, oh yeah, I remember when he was in the academy back in so and so. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah, now he's actually playing minutes as opposed to sitting behind.
I got
someone.
So I got to tell you, this is one of my observations of living in the States. This Euro snob kind of
Yeah.
business, right?
Yeah,
And I'm like, present company exclusive.
I mean,
Oh,
you know.
I fully admit I
He-
was on that.
He's reformed. He went to therapy. We got it.
I find it bizarre when you go into a pub, you're watching the game, and you have these Americans, foreign Americans, and they're watching the Premier League, and yeah, I say to them, "Been to the Union game?" No, I don't. No, they turn their nose up at that. I'm thinking, because in some way they think that that's what happens over in Europe,
Mhm.
and actually the opposite is true.
Yeah.
If you're from a town where there isn't a Premier League team, you may well follow a Premier League team, but you will go and watch your local town live.
Mm-hmm.
So you get the best of the both. You can
Yeah.
see the quality on the telly, but you get the atmosphere by going live.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I've been admit it. In 2007, when the Sons of Ben were trying to get a team, I'm going, MLS sucks. But I was just saying, my recollection of MLS was they were playing on AstroTurf and big baggy jerseys, and it wasn't that good. And even in 2010, you're watching MLS, you're like, okay, okay, it's good. The league now, from even 2010, has evolved so much where this isn't the only retirement people that we're getting is going to be a Messi or Ronaldo, and they're going to struggle if they're not in top form. I mean, you've seen guys come back over late, and now we've got young guys going over. So the league has changed so much where the quality's there.
Yeah.
The people that are the Euro snobs are just uneducated and they haven't gone out to see it. And if they do, their minds will be changed just like mine was eventually. I mean, I'd rather go to a Chelsea game than a Chelsea game. I mean, I'd rather go to a Union game than a Chelsea game.
That was a fun sentence.
Yeah,
I
that
enjoyed
was,
that.
yeah.
Nothing's better than live sport. Nothing is better than live sport.
Absolutely.
So another shout out. So I've been to 2 ice hockey games
Mm.
in my life.
We call it hockey here.
Oh, I've been to 2 ice hockey games in my life. I watch it on the telly. I mean, I can appreciate the skill,
Devin, the telly's a
physicality
TV.
Yeah.
of the game. I can appreciate that, but I never appreciated it as much as when I went to watch my brother-in-law, who played at 10:30 on a Sunday evening.
Oh yeah.
And his team is called the Crunch, although I think he's just been transferred to the Shamrocks. I'm not quite sure.
Oh,
And 3 or 4 fans there. We brought this big cooler of beer, and it was live.
Oh, he's talking about Letterkenny.
There's nothing better than live sport. And the first the first game I came to before I started, the week before I started, and Doug Vosick took me around, and I'd never been to the
Nice.
stadium. And what a guy he was! Still alive, but what a guy! Just for the record, still alive.
He has moved on.
I don't know.
but,
He's
know.
wearing a mask every day in LA now. Bad time to move
Yes.
over there, Doug.
He sent me a message the other day. Went, how do I go about winning this 50-50? LA is very expensive. I said, you got to buy a ticket, Doug.
Yeah,
You got to
Doug.
buy a ticket.
Get the app, Doug.
Gotta
Get
get
the
in
app.
it to win it.
Nothing compares to live sport. You can watch as much Premier League as you want on the television, but you've got to get yourself down to watch the live sport. Nothing compares to it. You guys were bouncing. I was underneath you guys, and I was looking around thinking, geez, and the irony is, it was the most I've felt like being at home
Yeah.
is being underneath you guys and feeling the vibrations at the Union game. That's the big irony of this.
It's the environment, the last, especially after COVID, but the environment, even during like when we were allowed limited fans,
I loved
the
those games.
environment started to get better, and with the team getting better, and the Sons of Ben and the Capos and everyone getting better, it's just it's brought back memories of early days of Sons of Ben and the Union, and this is the time that we keep telling people, you know what, you don't have to be an expert on the sport. You just come and watch it and learn. No one's going to bust your balls and criticize you, because I'll be honest with you, I don't know what the hell the offside rule is anymore. I don't think most refs do. It's okay.
Whatever it is, Santos was it.
Yeah.
I got to admit, his
Yeah.
entire right leg was offsides in the most like he was doing a split, and I was just like, yeah.
But I mean, you've got to come out and see it live. Now, Devin, did we miss anything? Did we get everything? I know we're getting late.
Wrap
You've
it
got
up.
editing.
No,
To wrap it
no
up.
fusion minute. No, okay.
Oh, good. Oh, that's even better. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guest, Paul Howard, what is the executive director of the Philadelphia Union Foundation. That's a good title. That's a
Yeah.
business card that you would keep
mean,
in your pocket.
So wait, you gave him that entire intro, but then it actually didn't say his job
No, I
title
did.
until now.
I'm
Oh,
just
okay.
wrapping it up. Way to
Oh,
pay
okay.
attention to the intro.
Is this called?
I'm never going to do an intro for you.
I mean,
Man,
I've
oh,
never
man,
gotten an
you
intro
never-
from you. We've done
Well,
73 episodes. So what do we do?
72, because this is episode number Trey Thomas.
We had a
72.
fake one, remember?
That didn't count.
Episode 0.
That was the pilot. Doesn't count.
That's true. The pilot, the little known 10-minute pilot.
Everybody, episode Trey Thomas is in the books. Paul, thank you for coming out.
Great to be here, fellas.
We are
Thank
going to
you.
have you on before we have Mark Evans on as the 2-time guest.
Mark Evans has been on this. Oh,
One time,
Yeah, once.
once.
But that
It
was
a test.
like
It was a
he
test.
was actually here in studio too.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was one of the few.
I'm pretty sure he's like, wasn't he one of like the first?
He was the
ones?
third guest we ever had. Was Evans.
I mean, well, he is legendary.
It was
Yeah.
on mine.
He is legendary. Let's be fair.
He's got a reputation in the schoolyard, that's for sure.
He went to a good college. That's all I can say.
Married one of the finest women you will ever.
Definitely.
I've heard good things.
Yeah. So, good job, Mark. Good job. Everybody else, thanks for listening. Episode number 72, Trey Thomas is in the books. Aloha, Felicia. You don't have anything to say anymore?
No, we don't have to wash our hands, and there's no more sexy season. What do you want me to do?
Yeah, there is in like Uganda.